Exploring genetic variation drives evolution, a human genetics perspective.
Welcome to the Universal Principles podcast. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of genetic variation and its role in evolution. It sounds complex, but we'll break it down. Our expert today will help us understand how this works in human genetics.
Thanks for having me. In human genetics, the principle of genetic variation driving evolution is fundamental. It explains how we, as a species, have adapted and changed over time. It's not just about the past, it's shaping our future too.
So at a higher level, what is this principle really telling us?
Think of it this way: any system with variations, when faced with selective pressures, will inevitably evolve. It's not just about genes, it's about adaptation. In essence, mutation introduces new options, and selection determines which options stick around.
Can you give us a concrete example in human genetics where we see this principle in action?
Absolutely. A classic example is lactase persistence. Historically, most adults couldn't digest lactose, the sugar in milk. But in populations with a long history of dairy farming, a mutation arose that allowed adults to continue producing lactase. This was a huge advantage, providing an extra source of nutrition, and natural selection favored those with the mutation. Now, many adults in those populations can happily enjoy a glass of milk.
Wow, that's a great example. Any other examples of genetic variation in human genetics?
Consider genetic adaptations to different environments. People in high-altitude regions, like the Andes or Tibet, have evolved genetic variations that allow them to thrive in low-oxygen conditions. They have more efficient oxygen transport systems compared to those living at sea level. These variations arose through mutations and were favored by natural selection because they provided a survival advantage.
So this principle applies outside of just biology too, right?
Definitely. Take evolutionary dynamics in algorithmic anthropology, for instance. It explores how algorithms evolve and adapt based on data, mimicking the natural selection process. Just like genes, algorithms can mutate and be selected for their performance. It's all about finding the best solution through variation and selection.
That's amazing. What are some things our listeners can do to apply this principle in their own lives or work?
Well, first, embrace experimentation. Don't be afraid to try new things, even if they seem a little out there. That's how mutations happen. Second, analyze your results. See what worked and what didn't, and learn from your mistakes. That's the selection process. And third, always be adapting. The world is constantly changing, so you need to be flexible and willing to evolve.
Great advice. Thanks for shedding light on genetic variation and evolution. It's been fascinating learning how this principle shapes not only human genetics, but also applies to many other aspects of life. It's not just about the double helix, but about adaptability and change.
My pleasure. It's a truly universal principle, and understanding it can help us navigate a constantly evolving world.
That's all the time we have for today on Universal Principles. Join us next time as we explore another fascinating concept.